Good evening, you're watching this Mongolian MNB World. I'm your host, Andrew Batra. And for top stories, the Mongolian Stock Exchange IPO launches. Proposed resolution supporting domestic businesses submitted. Minister of Justice and Internal Affairs submits a bill on casinos and gambling. And for the news, stay tuned. On Monday, a bells ringing ceremony for the launch of the Mongolian Stock Exchange IPO was held. The ceremony was attended by the Minister of Finance, Zhao, Chairman of the Financial Regulatory Committee, Bayer Saha, Head of the Government Agency for Policy Coordination on State Property, Tsingel, CEO of the Mongolian Stock Exchange, Alta, and other officials.
Since its inception in 1991, the Mongolian Stock Exchange has played an important role in the Mongolian financial sector. The Minister of Finance, who rang the opening bell, noted that Mongolian Stock Exchange share trading will increase public participation and control in the domestic stock market.
According to the law on state and local property, an individual and their related parties cannot own more than 5% of the company when it changes from state to public ownership. Also, people with political affiliations cannot own shares. Now, the Mongolian Stock Exchange is free from any political influence, and there is no risk of any company owning a majority of its shares. This means that this is the beginning of the transition to the real public control. The Mongolian Stock Exchange meeting international standards is a major event.
We are also looking forward to favorable conditions for minority shareholders. Minority shareholders can now purchase up to 30% of the shares. We will be closely monitoring the public demand for shares. Plus, I want to add that there are no strategic shareholders like some people are saying. There is no such thing as 5 or 6 major shareholders purchasing all the shares. The Mongolian Stock Exchange plans to raise 11.9 billion Mongolian tugrix by offering 34% of its shares to the public. The development of the Mongolian capital market began with the privatization of state property more than 30 years ago, when Mongolia shifted from a centrally planned economy to a free market economy. Economists expect the privatization of state-owned companies to improve the efficiency, competitiveness, and governance of these organizations and promote the Mongolian economy and financial market. The Financial Regulatory Commission says it will focus on developing a multi-pillared and inclusive financial market while promoting sustainable development.
Members of Parliament Otuntoya and Puruvdorj from the Democratic Party held a press conference on the proposed resolution on supporting Mongolian business entities.
Parliament member Otuntoya noted that while the resolution might look like a passport issue, it would be a good start for the government's support for Mongolia's private sector. Private sector representatives say they are always discriminated against when doing business, so there is a need for the government to support its real wealth creators. We know that many civil servants carry official passports and go abroad for business trips, but they don't bring in any foreign currency. Therefore, the Democratic Party believes that green passports should be issued to those who really need them. For example, business owners who attract foreign investment. The proposed resolution states that owners of the top 10 businesses in their province or companies listed as one of the 100 major Mongolian companies would have the right to obtain a special passport.
There are around 200 enterprises that contribute to the national economy, and to support the local economy and local businesses, we are submitting this proposal.
In 1990, the Democratic Party pushed for issuing foreign passports to all Mongolian citizens. The international community has been facing many challenges caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine, which have also significantly impacted the global economy. The members of the Democratic Party believe that the resolution would have a positive impact on reviving and boosting the local economy.
Now let's take a look at other Mongolian current affairs.
The Minister of Justice and Internal Affairs Nimbatar submitted a package of bills on casinos, betting and gambling. In his presentation to the Speaker of Parliament, he noted that Parliament should discuss the bills in the framework of boosting Mongolia's tourism sector. Parliament passed the casino law in 1998, but it was repealed before its implementation due to concerns about corruption and political controversy.
Thank you for staying with us. Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Now here's the international news from our partner agencies. A key international highway in eastern Serbia remained closed on Monday, along with schools and other public institutions in the area, following an ammonia leak that sickened dozens of people.
An emergency situation was declared in the eastern town of Pirot near the border with Bulgaria after a freight train carrying ammonia derailed on Sunday evening, releasing the flammable and toxic gas into the atmosphere. An investigation is underway to determine what caused the accident, authorities said. Infrastructure Minister Goran Vesic said the immediate concern, however, was to deal with the situation at the scene and prevent further damage. He added authorities will also look into whether there was a breach of strict procedures for transporting toxic materials. Measurements on Monday on several spots in Pirot, which is a few kilometers away from where the train derailed, showed no presence of ammonia in the air or water, officials said. But local authorities still advised people to remain cautious and stay indoors, while schools and other public institutions were closed. More than 50 people sought medical assistance in a local hospital in Pirot, while 15 more were transferred to the southern city of Nice, the state RTS television said. Residents in the area also have been advised not to drink tap water or use it to prepare food for the time being, the report said. According to State TV, police in Pirot confirmed they found one dead person near the accident site, with forensic teams yet to determine the cause of death. Ammonia gas leaks can be flammable and can cause serious injury or even death. The train was running on a regular route from Bulgaria to Serbia. It consisted of 21 wagons, 4 of which derailed and 1 leaked the ammonia, emergency official Luka Kozic told local Pink television. The scene of the accident remained sealed off on Monday, and traffic on the highway leading toward Bulgaria is being redirected to local roads. The highway linking Serbia with Bulgaria is normally very busy during the Christmas holidays, with people working in Western Europe traveling to their home countries.
South Korea's military fired warning shots, scrambled fighter jets, and flew surveillance assets across the heavily fortified border with North Korea on Monday, after North Korean drones violated its airspace for the first time in 5 years, officials said.
South Korea's military detected 5 drones from North Korea crossing the border, and 1 traveled as far as the northern part of the South Korean capital region, South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said. The military responded by firing warning shots before launching fighter jets and attack helicopters to shoot down the North Korean drones. One of the aircraft, KA-1 light attack plane, crashed during takeoff, but its 2 pilots both ejected to safety, according to the Defense Ministry. It wasn't immediately known if the drones were shot down. South Korea also sent surveillance assets near and across the border to photograph key military facilities in North Korea as corresponding measures against the North Korean drone flights, the Joint Chiefs said.
우리 군은 오늘 오전 경기도 일대에서
The South Korean military detected unidentified targets believed to be North Korean drones in Gyeonggi province this morning and took responsive actions. This is a clear provocation by North Korea violating South Korean airspace. The North Korean drones are small drones of 2-meter class or smaller, and one of the drones flew to the northern part of the metropolitan area, and the other 4 flew around Ganghwa-do area. The South Korean military immediately responded in self-defense.
즉각 대응하였다.
It didn't elaborate, but some observers say that South Korea likely flew unmanned drones inside North Korean territory. South Korea's public confirmation of any reconnaissance activities inside North Korea is highly unusual and likely reflect a resolve by the conservative government led by President Yoon Suk-yeol to get tough on North Korean provocations. It is the first time for North Korean drones to enter South Korean airspace since 2017, when a suspected North Korean drone was found crashed in South Korea. South Korean military officials said at the time that the drone photographed a U.S. missile defense system in South Korea. North Korea has previously touted its drone program, and South Korean officials said the North has about 300 drones. In 2014, several suspected North Korean drones were found south of the border. Experts said they were low-tech but could be considered a potential security threat. Last Friday, North Korea fired 2 short-range ballistic missiles toward its eastern waters, according to South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff. The launch was seen as a protest of the South Korean-U.S. joint air drills that North Korea views as an invasion rehearsal. This year, North Korea has conducted unprecedented number of missile tests in what some experts call an attempt to improve its weapons and pressure rivals to make concessions, such as lifting sanctions in future negotiations. Recently, the North also claimed to have performed major tests needed to acquire its first spy satellite and a more mobile intercontinental ballistic missile capable of reaching the U.S. mainland.
Christmas is an annual festival commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ, observed primarily on December 25th as a religious and cultural celebration among billions of people around the world. Now let's take a look at our next report on how Europeans celebrated the Christmas day.
Members of a Berlin swimming club dressed in Santa costumes and sang carols on Sunday before their annual Christmas plunge into Lake Orenke. The Berliner seals braved water temperatures of 2 degrees Celsius and air temperatures of 0 degrees Celsius. Around 40 members of the club took part in the ice dip. They spoke of the health benefits of winter ice dipping and swimming all year round. Their wishes for 2023 were for more unity between people and greater sense of community and peace worldwide. Dozens of Londoners plunged into the cool waters of Hyde Park's The Serpentine Lake on Sunday for an annual Christmas Day swim. The Serpentine Swimming Club hosts the Peter Pan Cup every year on December 25th, which sees swimmers of all ages take part in a 100-yard swim. Despite water temperatures of about 4 to 5 degrees Celsius, the event has grown in popularity in recent years.
You can't start at this time of year. You have to come down with the temperature, and then that seems to be okay. And as I say, you just get, you look forward all the time you're swimming, you're looking forward to get your hot chocolate afterwards and just the camaraderie that goes along with it. And so I think that's part of the training. It's that it'd be hard to do it on your own, but you do it, you meet your friends, you have a really good time, and you feel amazing afterwards.
Now let's take a look at our regular feature on sports. Premier League football resumed with a feast of Boxing Day fixtures 40 days after the top flight broke up for the World Cup in Qatar.
I think if there was any...
Monday's 7 fixtures produced a bumper 25 goals, with table toppers Arsenal showing no signs of letting up by securing a 3-1 win over West Ham. Southampton now find themselves bottom of the league following a home defeat, and Everton were left in despair after conceding late on Goodison Park. Any suggestions the World Cup break might stall Arsenal's momentum were quashed in Monday's final game. Mikel Arteta's men extended their lead to 7 points after coming from behind to defeat the Hammers courtesy of goals from Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli and Eddie Nketiah. Mikel Arteta's men extended their lead to 7 points after coming from behind to defeat the Hammers courtesy of goals from Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli and Eddie Nketiah. Arsenal lie 7 points clear of second-place Newcastle, but Pep Guardiola's City, who are in third, can claw the deficit back to 5 points with victory at Leeds on Wednesday. With City not playing until Wednesday, Newcastle moved a point above the Premier League champions into second place with an impressive win at Leicester. The Magpies dominated and went 3-0 with only 32 minutes on the clock. A Chris Wood penalty plus goals from Miguel Almiron and Joelinton made it a Boxing Day to savour for the travelling fans. Their managers still trying to find their feet with their new clubs in the Premier League, and the Boxing Day fixtures brought up differing results for Julian Lopetegui, Nathan Jones and Unai Emery. New Premier League referees chief Howard Webb told he wants to demystify the refereeing process and to improve the current VAR system.
To play this game was a huge challenge.
Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant each scored 32 points, and the Nets extended the longest winning streak since moving to Brooklyn to 9 games with a 125-117 victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers on Monday night. The Brooklyn Nets withstood a sensational 46-point performance by Darius Garland, who single-handedly kept the Cavs close in the fourth. Brooklyn has won 13 of 14, and it's beginning to look like an NBA title contender after so much needless drama. TJ Warren added a season-high 23 points for the Nets, who handled one of the teams they are chasing in the Eastern Conference standings after beating Milwaukee by 18 on December 23rd. Durant moved past Tim Duncan into 15th place on the career scoring list when he dropped a 20-foot jumper in the second quarter. Next up for Durant is Dominic Wilkins. Irving made the season-high 7 3-pointers and 2 key free throws with 41.1 seconds left, while being booed nearly every time he touched the ball by fans who cheered him during his 6 seasons with Cleveland. Garland finished 14 of 20 from the field and added 8 assists, with just 1 turnover in 40 minutes to lead the Cavs, who dropped their second straight at home and dropped to 16-4 at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Ready for that?
That's going to be a tough one.
Is the weather forecast of all major cities. Well, that's all for today, and thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.